In our last video, we used an ebook from the Gale Virtual Reference Library for our research. This time we are going to use an ebook that is available on a different platform, a different e-reader platform called Follett Shelf. I think you'll find it a little bit easier to navigate. Once again, we start in our library catalog and enter the name of the book. The name is The Holocaust, Jews, Germany, and the National Socialists. Now, if you don't want to type the entire name, let's just type in Holocaust, and we know that word appears in the title, so we are going to do a title search. And then let's scan our results to find this book. And here it is. Now again, you see that we have two versions. We have one that is a print version and one that is an ebook version, and we know that because of the icons. Notice over here that we have two copies of this book. This is an example of an ebook with publisher restrictions that permit only one reader of the book at a time. When that reader is done using the book, it is very important that they use the close book icon so that it becomes available to the next reader. And I'll show you where that is later. Of course, like any ebook, this can be read 24/7 on any device with an internet connection. So when we go to the details, we see that here, instead of having a link at the bottom, we have a button here that permits us to read the book online. Now when we click on that, we will be taken to the ebook. You'll get a blue screen, which I'm going to eliminate in the interest of time while it loads. On the other hand, if both copies are in use, you will get a message that the book is currently unavailable, and you'll just need to try back again in a little bit. In class, we are going to stagger the usage so that you all have access to the book. So I'm going to click on Read Online, and that will take me to the book. Notice that's the blue screen I mentioned. So here we are in the ebook. Notice that it looks exactly like a scanned version of the print book. In some ways, this makes it easier to navigate. Let's take a look at the basic navigation keys at the top. You can move forward and backward one page at a time using the arrow keys at the top. You can enter a specific page to see in this box. Let's go to page 15. Oops, get rid of the 1. Click enter and it will take us to that page. You can zoom in and out using the plus and minus symbols. And as with Gale, you can switch from a one-page to a two-page view if you like. Now let's switch to the two-page view and take a closer look at this book. One of my favorite features of Follett Shelf ebooks is the electronic table of contents, which is over here on the left. TOC stands for Table of Contents. When we click on it, we see what we have here on the left. All of these lines link directly. Now what we're looking at here is a collapsed version. You can see that here for chapter 1 we have a little gray arrow. Let's expand it, and you can see that we also are linked to the subsections of that particular chapter. I'm going to begin by reading this section entitled Mein Kampf. I'm going to click, and it's going to take us to that portion of the chapter. Now I'm going to close the table of contents to give us more space on the screen. Remember that here we're again reading carefully and critically to identify examples of classification. We'll zoom in so it's easier to read. Now let's suppose as you read that you identify a specific example of classification. In this ebook you can create notes for yourself, and I'm going to show you how. However, as a first-time user you will need to create an account. So let's say that you would like to create a note from something you have read on this page. Right-click, and from this pop-up menu, click Add Note. Now, it's pointing out to me that I have not yet logged in. Since you're a first-time user, we're going to sign up by clicking here and enter the information that's requested. First name, last name. For your login, I want you to use your West Essex ID. Type it again to confirm. To make sure it matches. For your password, use your West Essex password. Confirm it. For a security question, you want to select a question that you know the answer to, not many other people do, and that is easy for you to remember the answer. So I like to do something like Grandma, this is my grandmother, Wolford's first name, which, believe it or not, happened to be Mina. And I confirm that, and then you click sign up. Now I happen to already have an account, so I'm going to just log into my account, which is what you would do on subsequent visits. Okay, now that I am logged in, I can create my note. And I'm going to say this is an example of classification. ION. And I'm going to title it First Example. And I'm going to save it. So here's my note. I can drag and drop it around the page. When I roll over it, you can see the title. If I double click on it, I will see the content of my note. So this is a handy feature. Now let's take a look at the remaining icons. The magnifying glass up here on the top left opens a search box that allows you to search for specific words within the text. Here's the note-taking feature we've discussed, the electronic table of contents. This is a dictionary, and I think you'll find that very helpful. You can either search through here or enter a term. We've talked about most of these up here at the top, but I want to point out to you here on the far right is a Read Aloud button. And to use that, all you have to do is let's highlight a section of the text. And then when you click read, it will read it to you, highlighting each word as it reads. Alright, so we can stop that now. And now the last button here is extremely important. This is the Close Book button, as it says, that releases this ebook and lets another student read it. Always, always, always use the Close Book button to close the book. Do not X out or log off, or the book will get hung up in cyberspace. Please be considerate to your fellow students and make sure to use this Close Book button when you are done. If you're at home and you're headed out to soccer practice, make sure you close the book before you go so that someone else can use it. So those are the basics on how to use this ebook. As before, you will access it through Destiny, click on Details, and then Read Online. So today what you will be doing, I'm going to click here again on our electronic table of contents. You will start in this subsection of Chapter 1, which you got to by clicking the arrow, and click Mein Kampf, this second section, and all of Chapter 2. And then you can create your account. You can create at least one note, and on your note-taking graphic organizer you will list the examples of classification that you find. That's all for now. Don't hesitate to ask questions.